Good day, Zedra Nation, and welcome to Everyday Essentials. I'm your host, Dr. Scott Johnson, and I'm happy to be with you here to share a little bit about two of our key products that so many people find great benefits from. We're going to be talking about hormones and AGX men and women today. These are based on the AMAO gene expression study that was completed that looked at how essential oils can influence our genetic expression and literally provided billions of data points for scientists to comb through and really discover how and what the essential oils do when they work with the methyl groups in our genes. So epigenetics is an exciting and emerging field, and it's really the study of potential changes to gene expression that can be transmitted from parent to offspring that does not involve changes to DNA. And so it's really getting to the point where we could figure out what we ate for lunch today, how that might change our genetic expression and influence our offspring from our children to our grandchildren. So really interesting how scientists are starting to discover just how our everyday choices and habits and behaviors can influence not only ourselves, but our potential offspring as well. So we inherit genes from our parents. We inherit a set from our father and our mother. And those genes really can't be changed. But what can be changed or influenced are the methyl groups, which are carbon and hydrogen compounds attached to our genes, to our DNA. Those can be influenced by a variety of things, including what we eat, the supplements that we take, the activities that we're involved in, whether we're sedentary or active during the day, and various environmental exposures. And so those things all can interact with these methyl groups and then influence the way our genes express. Let's talk about these two. First, we're going to talk about women. Women's hormones, the first things we typically think of are estrogen and progesterone. Those aren't the only things we need to be concerned about for women's health when it comes to hormones, but they're two very key ones. So estrogen is what gives females their female sexual characteristics. It regulates menstruation. And breast development during puberty, and bone growth throughout life, and even influences your cholesterol levels. So those are just a few of the things that estrogen can influence. Progesterone is kind of a counterbalance to estrogen. And progesterone regulates ovulation, and it also regulates how thick the uterine lining is. It's involved in converting fats to energy. It enhances our sensitivity to both the thyroid hormone and also insulin, so that's pretty important. It helps maintain pregnancy when that occurs, and then also helps to prepare the breasts for lactation. So it's involved in a lot of different functions within the body. It's also one that's kind of known as a natural antidepressant. So progesterone, when you have sufficient or optimal levels, is known to influence your mood and be uplifting. But those aren't the only ones. We also have to worry about luteinizing hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, our DHEA levels, prolactin, and even testosterone. So women often think, oh, testosterone is just for men, but it's not. Testosterone actually performs functions in women. It's just obviously not at the same level as men. So when we talk about hormones, we have to understand that it's really a cascading event. That you have hormones triggering hormones to be released, and then those hormones influence other hormones. And so it's really a cascading event that causes all of these hormones to be produced and to function well within the body. And so you do yourself really a disservice often when you just focus on one hormone, where I want to focus on getting my estrogen or my progesterone levels balanced. You should focus on all of them, or the whole spectrum of hormones, in order to really get optimal levels, because if you have one that's out of balance, and the rest are likely to fall out of balance as well, because it is that cascading event. So how does AGX Women work? AGX Women is one that you take daily. You take a soft gel in the morning and a soft gel in the evening with your meal and some water. And it's that simple. These actually influence those methyl groups that we talked about. So those carbon and hydrogen compounds that can then influence the way that our genes express. So that's how AGX Women helps. Now, the nice thing is it doesn't just focus on one hormone, but focuses on the whole spectrum of female hormones and the cascading event. It supports that cascading, that normal cascading event, so you have normal hormone function and production. Men, when we talk about men, testosterone is obviously one of the top things that we'll talk about. Testosterone fuels energy, and it gives us stamina, and it works on our ambition and virility, and also helps us maintain a youthful cognitive function. So those are just some of the key things that testosterone does. But again, we can't just focus on testosterone in men, because there's other hormones like human growth hormone that really is involved and stimulates the growth of virtually all body tissues. And then we have some of the same ones that women also need to be concerned with, our DHEA levels and luteinizing hormone and follicle stimulating hormone. And there are others that are involved because, again, it's a cascading event where you have hormones triggering hormones to be released. And so men, we have the AGX Men, which is the same way that you take it. Soft gel in the morning and in the evening with a meal and water. And again, it influences those methyl groups so that you have normal hormone function and production, because it influences the spectrum of male hormones that are involved in really having optimum male health. So it's really simple to take these. These have been great products for many people. I constantly hear back from people saying how these have improved their overall well-being and their quality of life. And so definitely give them a try. People ask, when can you start taking them? I typically will say that you can start taking them just pre-puberty until through menopause. So for women, and similar for men, where you can start taking them pre-puberty if necessary, and then maintain them throughout life, because we do know that declines in some of the production of these hormones can occur in both men and women, and so we just want to support normal levels throughout our life cycle so that we can really have that quality of life that we're all looking for. So hopefully you'll let me know in the comments field how these have helped you, how what kind of benefits you're seeing, and we'll see you next time.